All right, let's do another drunken rant. And this time, I'm a little bit more drunken than the last time. So it's officially more of a drunken rant. And tonight, we're drinking red wine, 19 Crimes, Australian red wine. My favorite. Australia has, I don't know, my $20 and below favorite wine. And a little bit, as per usual, Jameson whiskey, which is apparently like a conservative drink in Ireland. And I'll get beat up by fucking lefties if I fucking drink this shit at their bar, which I'm fine with that. I'll drink whatever other whiskey they're having in their bar. So I have no problem with that. I'm a whiskey fan. So let's get into a little Q&A. First, I was reading this comment on my Culture Thug channel, and at the end of it, like we're going on a back and forth, and the guy says, "I am no longer an ethnic nationalist, thanks to you." And I have like mixed feelings about that. I kind of feel like, oh well, but at the same time, I understand like he's realized the more pragmatic, realistic way forward in America. And that's what we want. A realistic solution, not fucking pipe dreams and pies in the sky and generations later and all this shit. We want victory in our fucking lifetime. In our fucking lifetime. We want victory. And that is obtainable. It is obtainable through populist, masculine, fascistic nationalism. It is. And you can touch at the core of these themes with the public. Firmly convinced of that. Firmly convinced of that. We just need to step up as individuals and do it. Not LARP behind fucking frogs and these faggy sites. And speaking about these faggy sites, so I always get the questions, hey, Culture Thug, what do you think about so-and-so? What do you think about so-and-so? Insert name here, alt-right personality, book merchant, Patreon fucking beggar, whatever. I for every fucking person, I get it continually. And in a couple of my drunken rants, I've kind of expressed my feelings of some of these people who are built for violence, but then cry like a bitch when they get simple assault charges put on them. I can't respect that at all. But anyways, and I never will. I never will. You're talking to someone who did 10 years hard time. You're talking about someone that got, SS bolts tattooed on them in a prison where the population was 80% black. I mean, get the fuck real. Like I'm going to have sympathy for any motherfucker crying, especially any capitalist piece of shit, agitator piece of shit, crying about simple assault charges. Would never give a fuck. David Lane died in solitary confinement after fucking spending most of his life in there for his cause. I'm gonna give a fuck and even consider some piece of shit capitalist swine that cries like a fucking bitch when he gets a simple assault charge on him? Motherfuck no. Motherfuck no. Never. Never, 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 never. You got me confused with someone else who doesn't know better. Never, 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 never. I see the red flags in these people. So I can go on a rant on that about everyone. But all these people, all these book merchants, all these popular personalities, YouTube personalities, they have their pros and cons, all of them. Some of them have more pros than cons. Some of them have more cons than pros. Yeah, but I'm not going to get into, all these people. What do you think about so-and-so? What do you think about so-and-so? What do you think about so-and-so? I'm not into all of that. I'm not following or what I mean following, not like YouTube or Twitter following, but following as far as, following their message, becoming a supporter of their effort of leadership or their effort of personality. I mean, it's personally, I think like whenever people ask me, what do you think about so-and-so? What do you think about so-and-so? And if I know these so-and-sos are just utter pieces of shit, are utter hypocrites, are utter degenerates, utter liars, are people that hide shit from people that don't put their integrity out there, I say that's your own flaw for not realizing it yourself. How dare you ask me what I think of these people? Think for your fucking self. See the red flags where you see them and address it. And you can take the good with bad. I don't advocate throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But at the same time, with some of these people, it's like, get the fuck real, guys. I mean, why would you even ask me about some of these people? You should know yourselves. You should know yourselves. And it's concerning to me that a lot of people don't know themselves with some of these characters they keep asking about. So no, I'm not going to go into what I think about so and so and so and so, because everyone loves drama and drama sells. I could start fucking attacking and slandering people on their character, and I kind of just did a second ago, right? I just kind of called someone out, fucking. But I mean, you're not. Oh, you're not going to be so obvious and not have me laugh at you, right? You're not going to be so obvious. Just media whores. A lot of these people are just media whores. Oh, God, they want it. They want it. Dr. Pierce, since we're speaking on mainly white nationalist themed people, Dr. Pierce had already known what the media was about and spoken about it numerous times, and why he didn't feel it was important to go, chasing after media like fucking ambulance chasers, lawyers and shit, and politicians. But other people totally love that, and they feed into that, and they play the useful idiot for the media so they can cut these clips up of someone saying, I'm built for violence. Yeah, they charged me with assault. Fuck these people, man. Come on, man. Fuck these people. Now they're martyrs. Now they're fucking martyrs to some of these people. You got a simple assault charge. Now they're martyrs. That's how feminine you people have become. That becomes a martyr. Sal Alinsky spoke about this. Get some short, small change jail time, and you become a great martyr for your cause. Fuck this shit. No, I'm not going to speak about all these other motherfuckers. There's no point in it. If you can't see the pros and cons in these people, that's your own shortcoming. You need to develop more as a human being and a man yourself. I'm not going to slander and speak because, like I said, I'll speak about pros and cons of people, but all those people here are the cons, and I'll turn this a drama fest. Culture Thug's doing this because he's a Jew. He's a Fed. He's trying to, it just starts. It's the same old shit over and over again. God damn, it's so boring. It's so boring too. It's so unimaginative. It's so basic. I hate it. So no, stop asking me what the fuck I think about so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Fuck you. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. See the red flags for yourself. And if you don't see those red flags, that means there's a problem with you. That means there's a problem with you. That's why I continually preach building yourself up. Because once you do, when you strive to become better yourself and everything, and not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, you don't fall for these things so much easier as you used to. You really don't. And I understand, there's a lot of people that are fresh and new within the last couple of years to awakening to something outside of the mainstream. You have to think for yourself in these things. You really do. So stop asking me what I think about all these fucking characters and all this shit. I don't care. I'm not going to go into it. Every now and then in a Drunken Rant, I'll poke at some of these fucking bitch ass things that they do. But I can honestly give two fucks. I don't think anyone that's seen my rants have seen me like really actually speak about any of these people that are figureheads in the alt-right and all this shit. So because it's completely irrelevant to me. That's all cartoon as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, stop asking me with that. And then someone was saying apparently Mike Enoch and Richard Spencer are going to go against Sargon again on some debate. And they're like, hey, maybe you can sneak in on Sargon's side and speak about this fascistic civic nationalism that you speak about. And it's like, no, that won't happen. They won't. Sargon's not going to have me on his side. I made a video shitting on him. He won't even respond to me, let alone have me on his side. No, that's not going to happen. So shit like that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get too much rhythm until I get more subscribers from a lot of these people, because it's why would anyone give this, fascistic person any kind of rub or anything unless they can gain something from it. It's like that last debate with And I got so many people saying, "Hey, comment on this, look at this, watch this." And I watched through most of it, of the debate between mainly Styx, Sargon, Richard Spencer. Who the fuck else was there? I forget. Millennial Woes came on later, and I think V came on much later. But that shit, I watched that, and they were continually talking about, oh my God, we're #1 streaming right now. And that's what they give a fuck about. So they're not going to give too much shine on some motherfucker that got like 4,000 subscribers. Fascistic, crazy fucking ex-felon motherfucker. They're not going to do that. So that's not a reality. I don't fit into that fucking world. So it's not going to happen. So there's no need in saying, hey, do this, do that. Like, I'm up for speaking with anyone, but I'm not going to go... I did it one time with Stefan. Like, I asked, I sent the initial question to get on the show because one of his subscribers, one of his fanboys, were like, oh, you wouldn't speak to Stefan. I was like, yeah, I would. Sure, I would. I don't know how to do that. And he told me how, and I did it, and it worked. So I got through. But I'm not going to go around fucking asking people, hey, speak to me, speak to me. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck. It's not about subscribers. It's not about hits. You can say, oh, no, but it's getting the word out there. What the fuck does the word mean on the internet? It doesn't mean a motherfucking thing. My videos on Culture Thug are timeless. You can look up Strausserism today or 2 years ago or 2 years from now, and you're going to find that video that's going to explain to you what Strausserism is. And then maybe you'll say, hey, he did a good job on explaining this. And then look at his other videos on the third position. That's the intent of my channel. It's not about fucking getting, blown up subscribers, YouTube personality, all this shit. It's just having that information out there that's timeless. And that's what I do with the Culture Thug channel. This is more personal shit for the viewers and for myself to communicate with each other. But, yeah, so I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. If people want to speak to me, I'm up to speaking with anyone. Of course, but I'm not going to go around begging people, asking people, promoting myself and all this shit. I'm not going to do that. It's just not in my nature. It's not in my character. I've read quite a few books on propaganda, but I'm not a good propagandist. That's unfortunately the truth. And I just have too much of myself that shines through that I can't be calculated enough to be a good propagandist. Nor do I try to be, though. I just be myself. So it is what it is. I'm sure I'll speak to quite a few people. People are talking about, oh, Braven, you, Maroon mentioned you, Millennial Woes, blah, 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 and all this shit. I'm sure enough we'll speak to the people I need to speak to. The universe, destiny, and everything will lay its way out, and it will happen. But I have to stick to my integrity. And I'll tell you what, like, I used to work a job on the Strip where I worked on a party bus. And this party bus, you would take people. What I do is serve drinks to people, wear this little tuxedo, serve drinks to these people, take them to 3 different clubs throughout the night. They'd go to the club for an hour, get on this bus, and serve them all this shit. Very good money. It was one night I was in my garage, and it was late at night. I got a good fucking workout in, and then I was sitting there thinking, Judas Priest, Living After Midnight was on the radio, and I was saying, damn, for how my life is, the only job that would work out for me, being more dedicated to my children than any kind of material job, that the only thing that could work out for our schedule would be if I was able to get a job on the weekends, Friday and Saturday night. Because usually my kids, they go to my in-laws' house Friday night. They stay there Saturday to Sunday night, so I was like, the perfect job would be something graveyard Friday and Saturday nights. And it fell in my fucking lap. And not only that, because I was even thinking about, like, maybe I'll take up like some fast food drive-through bullshit, right? If I can get it Friday and Saturday night somewhere. But this job fell in my fucking lap because my brother's friend started this company. They got me in. And oh my God, I could show you just some reviews where, like, I was so ruthless to some of these people and, like, bringing up just all kinds of, like, on bad tip nights, saying, like, I shouldn't be taking you to the club. I should be taking you to Auschwitz. And just saying it, like, I seriously did not give a fuck. I learned if you say some things with a smile on your face, people don't know how to take it. They're just like, the fuck did you just say to us? But anyways, before I go off on a tangent on that, the perfect job, and it was good money. I worked about 6 hours a night, Friday and Saturday, and I would make on average in those 6 hours, I would make 200 to 300 in average, just for the 100 for showing up and the tips after that. So perfect job, but I was dying inside each time I did it because it's service industry, it's degenerates, it's the club scene, it's what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas kind of mentality. So these people are just complete degenerates. And, like, if I would tell you as many bachelorettes that I seen that were fucking sucking some dude's dick on their bachelorette party before they're about to get married to some dude. There's even some bitches that, like, I put out there, because we also took pictures. We were also we had to take pictures, put them up on our website, and it's there was even some bitches I purposely fucking, because of who they were fucking with, I purposely made sure those pictures go on the website, hoping their future husbands would see that before they got married. But complete degeneracy. But the money was good, and it fit really easy, and it fit to my schedule perfectly. But I had to stop it because it was killing me inside. And thank God I have a strong woman with me that she understood that, and she supported that move. And even though it was giving us extra money, and it's so important to find a woman that really supports you, as far as spiritually, mentally, because, like I said, it was so important at that time because it was literally killing me. I was dying inside. And so would I be, to bring this long story around, if I was going around fucking asking people, hey, put me on your show. I don't give a motherfucker about that shit. I don't. So it's and I'm not going to fucking ask people that that are very fucking I don't know, I guess new. It's like an insult to myself. No. I'm happy where I'm at. If people want to speak to me, they'll reach out to me and we'll speak. That's it. So I'm not going to go around asking people to get on their shows, get on this, get on that. I'm not going to degrade myself. I'm not a fucking YouTube personality. I don't want to be the person, oh, here's Culture Thug again this week. No, I don't want to be that motherfucker. I don't. Okay, so, and I won't be that motherfucker. I simply won't. You're not going to see me asking you for shit. You're not going to see me fucking trying to become a personality. You're not going to see me trying to get on these fucking people's shows. If I'm offered it, I will fucking go on with anyone, without a doubt. But I'm not going to go around begging. I did that once with asking the question to Stefan, and I felt like shit doing it, and I had a bad taste in my mouth doing it, but it was more of a personal fucking, someone poked at me. I was like, I fed into it. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Sure I would. And then got into it. But no, not again. So enough of this shit. If anyone wants to speak to me, they can reach out to me. And they can do it through my fucking YouTube account. It's fine. That's how everyone reaches out to me. Okay? So they can do it through that. I'm not worried about anything else. It's not. Whenever a video pops up on Culture Thug, check it out. The next one's going to be on the Nazi economy. Check it out. You'll learn about the Nazi economy. And then that's what the Culture Thug account is there for. I don't need to be a YouTube personality. This fucking shit is fake, man. I don't care how many people. No, maybe, you awaken the right person who can change the world. Maybe, right? Maybe you help them on the path. But in all reality, I don't care too much about the virtual reality. I think it's in real life. It's when I'm like running for positions in my local area and dealing with that shit, or when a party or a leader or someone worth following comes about and I join that. That's when that matters to me. Not fucking, oh, you'll get more subscribers if you do this. The fuck does that mean? I'm not looking for that. I don't give a fuck about that. The fucking, oh, you're great, Culture Thug, or you're this, Culture Thug, you're a piece of shit. Either way, it's the same thing to me, man. It's the same thing to me. None of this shit is real. None of this shit is real. There are words on there. It's hard to humanize just simply words on there. So I'm not interested in that. Everything is in real life. What I've been preaching: improve yourself, make yourself a better person, physically, spiritually, mentally, and then promote the message. Go out there yourself, promote the message, speak to your local community, build yourself up, and then do that. The more of us that do that, the more we can make a change. We really can. You don't need to follow a motherfucker. You don't need to think these people are your spokesman. You can become your own spokesman. You really can in your own area. And that's the better way to go, in my opinion. That's the better way to go. So that's what I'm more about. These videos are more a hobby for me than anything else. They're not, I don't fool myself into thinking like I'm doing something with these videos. I hope, and I understand. I've gotten many positive feedback on these videos, on a lot of the videos I've done on the Culture Thug account. But I'm not content with that. I appreciate all that, and I love that, and I'm happy that I do that, and I feel I'm doing more than the average person, but I'm not content with that, man. It's fucking total victory. That's what I'm content with. When we have the society we envision in power, that's when I'm content. That's when I'm happy. That's when I can rest easy. So, yeah, no. I'm not going to go around asking people to get on their fucking shows. Soon enough, eventually, they'll get tired of speaking to their own alt-right circle over and over and over again. And they'll fucking eventually reach out to people that, you know, if I could stop getting banned and let my channel build up, that these faggots will eventually reach out to me and say, hey, you know, you have a little different perspective on things than so-and-so and so-and-so. Let's hear from you. You know, eventually that'll happen. I see like Red Ice, you know, they promote people like Veronica Clark, which I shit on in my Hitler Second Book video. They promote her as a fucking expert on Nazism. But, you know, it's they're not worried about people until they become like known. And this is like the mentality of this whole YouTube scene and culture. It's you know, promoting someone as an expert when they have such fucking bullshit and personal agenda and a lot of their information. You know, it's insulting. I see shit like that. It's like, I don't even want to be in that crowd. I don't even want to be like in that circle. But you see, they'll do that because they have more name recognition. So it's all about that. So there's no point in, you know, even thinking about trying to, you know, all these people keep telling me, oh, you should speak to so-and-so. You should, because I was being told like I should speak to Crown T years ago. I should speak to Chris Cantwell years ago. And like apparently Crown T is like gone from the internet or some shit now. I don't even know. But something was going on. And then, like Chris Cantwell, like I said, I looked at his page and he was like, what did his page say? It was something like capitalist asshole and libertarian or some shit like that. It was on the header of his page, you know, where I got Augustus like on my page. Like he had that, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, ew, what the fuck are I'm gonna speak to someone who self-identifies as an asshole? Like that's the last shit I want to speak to, someone that self-identifies as an asshole. Then I see this motherfucker like, oh, I worked out so I got muscles, I'm gonna flex them now, talk about how I'm built for violence. Then I'm gonna cry like a motherfucking homosexual when I get charged with a simple assault charge. And it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, thank God I never did speak to that person. I'd feel ashamed like being attached to that motherfucker in an interview. So it's, yeah, no, enough of this shit. Enough of shit. Stop asking me what I think about people. Stop asking me to get on this person's show, that person's show. Whoever reaches out to me will, and then we'll speak. It's as simple as that. So enough of this shit. I'm not out here pandering for fucking views or for fucking shekels or any of that shit. This is my hobby. What's out here is real life. It is speaking to our real people is real life. That's what matters. That's what matters. Not, this stuff is a good side thing. Like I said, it's a good side thing. It positive benefit does come from it. But it really matters in real life. So, no. Enough of asking about speak to this person, speak to that person. Enough. Whoever reaches out, I'll speak to them. Most people that reach out, let me rephrase that. Most people that reach out, I'll speak to them. But I'm not gonna go around asking people to get on their shit. I just don't care. I really don't care. And trust me, if you think like I'm doing a disservice to promoting any positive message, maybe in some aspect of internet views, you may be right. But in a deeper context, I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right. So to me, it doesn't matter as such. My integrity matters more. And if going around asking people to get on their shit fucking kills me inside a little bit, like working that job that paid me so well killed me inside that I had to walk away from, then I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. It's as simple as that. So if things are destined to be, they will happen. If not, they won't. It's as simple as that. So let's see. Outside of those questions, I kind of bunched in a couple questions I had on speak about this person, speak about this person. Let me see. I'm going to get to at least one question here. What are your views on traditionalism, progress? Is there a balance? Is there a balance between the two that needs to be maintained? Yes, that's my personal belief. Is a little bit of traditionalism and a little bit of futurism melded into both. And I think you can do this. You can live like this. I don't think this is a contradiction. I think there is a fine line, and I think they both matter. And I hope, I believe that the traditionalism helps the progress. I really do. So yeah, there are core values and elements of society that I think that should continue on. But there's always progression as far as direction and technology and the manifestation of where man goes. There's always that progression. But there's this root, there's this core that, like any healthy plant, always needs to be attached to the soil. And that's the same with our traditionalism, our cultures. So yes, I do believe it's a fine mix of both. Like with everything with the third position, it's taking a bit of both. And a bit of everything else and making it work. Taking the good from the white and the black and making it work in the gray. And same with traditionalism and futurism. Same thing. Yes, there is a fine line. So, and there's a lot of questions on here. I won't get to most of them here. Maybe Sunday night. There's a UFC going on Sunday night, so I'll be drinking and watching UFC with my fam and some friends. So maybe I'll get on after that, after they all leave, and do another drunken rant to answer a lot of these questions. I got some built up. Believe me, if some of you thinking, usually I'll not favorite, but fucking put the heart on the question, and that means usually I'm going to answer it in one of these. And so don't worry, I'll be getting to some of these others on Sunday, but I kind of went long on that rant, but I'm getting sick of it because I hear it all the fucking time about, what do you think about this? What do you think about this person? What do you think about this person? Why don't you go on this person's show? Why don't you go on this person's show? Like, enough with this shit. All right? Stop being fanboys, motherfuckers. Go turn off these motherfuckers. They're not your saviors. They're not sages. They're not prophets. You are your own. If you're living in America, especially, you are your own. Fucking better yourself and make yourself a political weapon. Sharpen yourself as a tool and attack the system. And then stop following these fucking YouTube personalities. Stop it. Stop it. You don't see the red flags in these people? You don't see their faults? One faggot was a rapper. Now he's a fucking, like, a white nationalist. One faggot was speaking about whites need to be burned out of existence. Now he's know-it-all white nationalist. Come on, guys. One guy was eating Jewish pussy and then living up to every fucking anti-Semitic stereotype the media promotes. And he's like a leader to... Come on, guys. Come on. You see the red flags. Get over yourself. They're not conspiratorial red flags. They're character flaw red flags. That's what matters more. So yeah, enough of this shit. I think because we have such a feminine male society that hasn't lived through hardship, that I don't know, they're susceptible to this bullshit. I don't know. I don't know why some of these things, when people say, hey, what do you think about this guy? I'm like, why don't you think this about this guy? Yeah, I don't get it. All right, so let me see. Is there anything else? Okay. All right, this will be the last one I handle tonight. As a father yourself, what do you think of Generation Z? I don't even know what the fuck Generation Z is. Last thing I knew was Generation Millennial. I didn't know there was another one. Laziness, nihilism. I'm assuming this is after Millennial then, Generation Z. Addiction to technology. Oh yeah, so bad. So bad. Seem to be rampant among them. Will they be pushed back we need Will they be the pushback we need or the last nail in the coffin? Any advice on raising children in a modern capitalistic society? Wow. So, I guess every generation talks about how pussy the next generation is. Like, I forget what old samurai literature I was reading. It was either the Hagakure, the Book of Five Rings. It's one of those two, I think. And they were talking about, like, he was complaining about how the samurai in his time had got more effeminate, or the newer generation. And when I was reading that, this is in the 1500s. I was like, this shit, this trend has just continued generation to generation. And I hear it from my pops, and I'm sure he heard it from his pops, that how soft ass the next generation is. So I think we always look at the next generation as being more soft, and there's probably truth to that. The technology, God, it's gonna be probably our biggest battle. Probably our biggest battle. You got a lot of these people obsessed with a lot of other topics, but probably this technology is going to be our biggest battle. It is corrupting everyone. Personally, like, my daughter's 10, my son's 7, and they don't have cell phones or any of that shit. I'm going to hold that off as long as I can, because I don't want them to be one of those people whose face is always buried in their fucking phone, nonstop. Oh no, shit, did I show them? Yes, I did. But my face is in my phone. I can't stand people like that. And I don't want my kids to be that. So, I think with kids, you need to do a lot of proactive parenting. And that's how I've chosen to go about my parenting, is to be proactive parenting, is let them. We've had a lot of interesting conversation as of late, because of the time we're in right now, and the holidays that are coming up around the corner and all this stuff, and the things they're learning at school. So proactive parenting, I think, is the most important part. I think you can have your cake and eat it too. I'm a firm believer in this. You can have some of your technological, comforts, but you have to discipline yourself too. And I think these things are, vital for at least how I'm raising my kids. I try to, like with everything, Aristotle's mean is how I live and how I preach. And it's mean, or virtue is found in the mean. Virtue is found in the middle, and disciplining yourself to where you can enjoy whiskey here and there, but you're not doing it every day. You're not doing it all the time. You can enjoy whatever you get out of this, but you're not doing it all the time. And this is what I try to preach to my kids, because I think, if I try to indoctrinate them in any way, that it'll most likely end up backfiring on me. So it's just being realistic with my kids, and giving them, like from day one, I've always been a realist with them. And I think that's how I'm choosing to raise my kids. There's no perfect recipe, right? So I can't tell anyone how to raise their kids. I can only tell you how I am trying to go about this. And I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. Maybe I'll lose them to the system. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'd like to lie to myself, but it's you never know. But I know the method I'm going about it is essentially I'm riding the tiger with my kids. And it's they're in modernity, but I'm trying to have them understand what modernity is, and to make their own conclusions and decisions on rejecting a lot of these the decadence and degeneracies of modernity, a lot of the complacencies of modernity, and striving for something more and understanding life is struggle and struggling themselves to obtain and achieve and create much more. And so that's my goal with my kids. But it's a crapshoot. It's going across the Rubicon when you put your kids into this modern society. It really is. And there's no safe answer around it, especially where I'm at. I'm in the belly of a beast. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, people. This is the belly of the beast. The whole reason we don't pay state taxes is because of the degeneracy that sells in this city. So this is where we're at. We used to drive by the strip, and my kids would be like, "Oh, it's Sparkle City, Daddy." And I had to tell them, like, Sparkle City was built on a lot of broken dreams, honey. This is what it was built on. Let's understand what Sparkle City is. So, yeah, I can't give you any perfect answers, brother. I really can't. I wish I could, but there's none out there. There's no one that can tell you how to parent. This fucking piece of shit that tells you, oh, you can't spank your kids or you're fucking, you're destroying them or whatever. I will never tell you how to raise your kids. I won't tell you how to spank them or not spank them or do this or this. There is no perfect recipe. There is no perfect recipe. There is none. That's unfortunately the truth. Kids can have great upbringings and turn out to be pieces of shit. Or kids can have horrible upbringings and grow up to be, successful, sturdy people. So, yeah, there is no perfect recipe. I just know I raise my kids how I would like to be treated myself as a kid and everything else. And maybe I give them too much reality. Maybe I do. I don't know. We'll see. It's an ongoing experiment. So I don't have like I said, the perfect or any answers to that. I just know I'm raising my kids how I deem fit. I'm giving them the knowledge that I've seen they need to deal with. I'm giving them, I give them an opportunity to have the physical training that they need and try to hit them to the mental realities of the world and what's going on. And, I just had very interesting talks with my 7-year-old son about, this stigmas being preached at their school about certain things. And I think that's the most important thing you can do with your kids is have open dialogue with them, be realistic with them, and don't crucify them too much. Don't crucify them too much for their wrongdoings. Have them believe they can always speak to you honestly and at least and not be held in judgment against them for speaking to you honestly is what I found to be the truth with my kids, at least, is to know that we're on the same team. And this is something I always promote. We're on the same team. We want each other to succeed. This is our goal. So we shouldn't hold against each other. We shouldn't speak down on each other. We shouldn't work against each other. We should work to the betterment of ourselves, our family's name, the people that have come before us, our ancestors that have fought and died in battles. It's like going through all this, giving them, a knowledge of the blood that runs through their veins, are all very important to me. And they will either betray that or live by that. I can't wave a wand and make them. I wish I could. So, but that's just not a reality. So it is what it is. It's you have to deal with it. So I don't have your perfect answer. I know I deal with it, how I deal with it. I have a good friend who is like taking a completely different path from me. He's like moved out in the boondocks, has all his kids out there in the boondocks, completely separated from society, and he's indoctrinating them in these beliefs. And it's, who knows who's right, who's wrong. That's what I'm saying. It's all a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. There's no perfect recipe. So that's why I never knock anyone for how they raise their kids, unless they're total pieces of shit, obviously. But there's no perfect recipe, man. I don't know it. I just know I can treat them how I would want to be treated now that I have knowledge of what the world is. I know I treat them and speak to them like I'm preparing them to deal with this world and to continue on the name, the blood, the family, and everything else. And they will choose to do that if I'm decent enough and give a good enough representation enough of the blood and the family to them that they'll respect that, love that, and want to continue that, or they won't. I'll lose them to MTV. I'll lose them to whatever, right? As far as I'm concerned, that's my own failing. So I'm pretty sure I won't fail in that. We're very tight knit. We're very strong at the core with each other, and I think that's going to continue. But that's in proactive parenting. There's no secret outside of proactive parenting. Being real with your children, being real with yourself, calling out your own hypocrisies in front of them, so they know. Because like I said, I've met people that tried to indoctrinate their kids, and their kids completely rebelled against them. I've met skinheads whose kids bred with non-whites, and it's like, well, what did you do wrong to chase your daughter away, right? Because it was your fault. You did something. They saw your ass drinking every night, bitching about this, and that, Jews and blacks, while you were no better than anything you bitched about yourself. And they're like, well, fuck this dude. What the fuck's he talking about? Aryan. He calls himself an Aryan, and this motherfucker's doing this, and that. No, it's like Aryan is not a term you can apply on yourself. Aryan is a term you have to earn. So it's having that mentality. I think that matters most. You can't be a hypocrite and a piece of shit in front of your kids. You can't be a loser in front of your kids and preach to them and try to indoctrinate them into something, because they'll see through it. Kids are very perceptive. So I think it's about being authentic with yourself, authentic with your kids. This is how I treat my kids. And we try to do the best of both worlds. They get the popular education, and they get the education outside of that tells them, hey, well, let's re-examine what you've been told here and all that. It's called proactive parenting, being involved in your parents' lives, in your kids' lives, what they're learning, what's going into their heads, knowing what they're being told, and knowing, what goes against your values and whatnot. So, yeah, that's how I go about it. Like, I have no perfect answer for it. People can go about it different ways. Like I said, there's success stories at all levels, of all levels of parenting, from horrible parenting to great parenting. There's different results. Unfortunately, there is no recipe, despite what people try to sell you. There is no recipe, man. It's a crapshoot. But the path I've taken is being authentic as I can be, just like I'm authentic with you. I'm authentic with my kids. To me, that's the most important thing, is authenticity of oneself, being yourself, representing yourself. Who I can be on the internet is who I can be in real life. These are very important to me, very important to me. And I think that should be more important to more people. And to me, in even dealing with my kids, is very important to me. The same person I am here, the same person I am with them all the time. So they know the flaws, but they also know the benefits of it as well. So that's it. Like I said, I have no perfect answer. I wish I did. As far as, Generation Z and laziness and technology and all this. Yeah, technology is an issue, man. We're going to have to deal with this. We're going to have to recognize this. We're going to have to kind of disconnect in a way and get a little more in tune with the earth, our reality in life. But once again, I think we can have both. I think there's a middle ground. I think we can have that realism and that technology, that reality and that virtual reality, and a fine line between both. So it all comes down to discipline in the end. All discipline in the end. And it's promoting that. And you would hope, like you said, is this the last nail in the coffin? Yeah, it could be, because everything becomes blasé sooner or later. And even materialism, hedonism, nihilism will become blasé. Kids will grow up thinking there's got to be something more to life than just consuming, purchasing pleasure. There's got to be more than life. And then there will be us there telling them there is more to life than that, much more than life. So we have to stay steadfast. And I do think we are on the epoch of a reawakening of the spirituality of man. I do think nihilism and hedonism and this simple seeking pleasures of the senses is coming to its end. It's it's completely empty, and people are seeing that you can consume as much as you want. It's like when I got out of the workforce, the steady workforce, not the nighttime job I was talking about, but the steady 9 to 5 shit. Because me and my wife used to work 9 to 5. I used to work 9 to 5. Miserable existence. But we had more material things. But now that that's not happening, we have less material things, but everything else is still good. The family is strong. And the more and more people realize that, like, you don't need all this material shit. You really don't. This is empty. You can never fill that hole. You can never fill that hole with the products you buy. That hole in your soul is much deeper. It needs to be metaphysically answered. And that's what the third position offers to people. But eventually, and more so, I think we're seeing signs, people are starting to realize that and understand that. Not even on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level. And it's coming through. And more on the subconscious level will eventually come through to the conscious level, where it's a new way of life. And this is when we're shedding capitalism, we're shedding materialism, we're shedding individualism, and we're going into something greater. So, but once again, it comes down to the battle between what greater, the liberals or the nationalistic, masculine-minded people, the people with Faustian ideals, or the people with feministic ideals, the people with, I guess, more placating and continue. Because even the liberals will bring purely materialism and hedonism onto the masses. The exact, I guess, the polar negative to them is the option that brings on a greater destiny, that Faustian drive in man. And I do think this is awakening in the people. And slowly but surely, more and more so, they've realized capitalism, nihilism, individualism has come to its end. Liberalism is a fallacy. And more people are open to the ideology that is more fascistic. It's maybe you can't call it fascistic to them, but it definitely more fascistic in spirit. So I do think that is the reality, and that's where we're headed to. But once again, like I said, it's up to people like us to build ourselves up and to seize the moment. That's it. That's our only course right there. How I trailed into that from speaking about how raising kids, I'll never know. But that is it for now, guys. Cheers. And Sunday, possibly, I'll answer the rest of the questions I have on my little list here that I haven't got to yet. Some of them I haven't got to in a month. I understand that. And I will get to them eventually. But I wanted to tack on a couple here, and I went into a bit of a rant early on because I'm tired of the same old questions. I would speak to this guy. What do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy? Yeah, it's all whatever. So yeah, guys, cheers. Until next time.